How's it going, everybody? Just doing a soft-spoken, gum-chewing rant and ramble. Yeah. I'll start off with the ranting. The ranting is pretty strictly just about Far Cry 5. I joined GameFly. It was $1. Every once in a while they send this $1 and you join back up for $1 first month, so I did that. And the first game I got was Far Cry 5. Overall, Far Cry is a solid game. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10, but the story, there'll be some spoilers here. Some major ones. So. The story is so brutal, in my opinion. It is just not good. The ending is ridiculous in that there's two endings. I mean, they have the little stupid thing you can do like in Far Cry 4 where the game could just end after like 2 minutes. There's a bad ending where you get, Joseph Seed's the main cold guy, and then there's his brothers and sisters. You got Jacob, John, and Faith. And they each have regions of the map. You have to get resistance points before you can fight them. But at the end of the game, like I guess Ubisoft came out and said, because spoiler alert right here. If you haven't played it, don't listen to the next like 5 minutes. Nuke goes off at the end, and now there was supposed to be like chatter on the radio of why. Like this is what the collapse was supposed to be that they keep talking about. But some nukes go off. And there was supposed to be like chatter on the radio that like tensions in the outside world were rising, like things were, getting worse or whatever. And but that's not, I didn't hear anything like that. Like I wasn't listening too much of the radio. I've heard other people say they did hear stuff, so regardless, even if it's there to hear, it should have been, NPC should have been like, man, I'm hearing stuff on the radio here that like, stuff's starting to go down or whatever. The other ending, while darker, still is a little bit stupid, but at least it makes more sense because at one point, when you do Jacob's region, you like get brainwashed into shooting people from this song. And at the end, Joseph gives you a chance to leave with the 3 people you originally went in to get him with, because that's how the game starts. You go in to arrest him. And obviously that doesn't happen. But so you leave with him, and the sheriff for some reason would turn on the radio, and then the song that you've been brainwashed to comes up, and then it pretty much implies that you're going to kill the people in the car. Which is a little better, but it doesn't make sense because you ditch all the other people you've spent like 20 to 30 hours helping. You just ditch them and leave them, which doesn't make sense. Why character would do that, but that's not supposed to be the real ending, I guess, or the ending you want. The ending you want is the nukes going off, which I guess is like North Korea bombing us, whatever. And whatever on that, it's just, you get the speech from Joseph, like, everything's your fault, like, you're the bad guy, pretty much, like, really, I'm the bad guy, yet you're pretty much saying, I should have left you alone to torture people, pump them full of drugs. I mean, you have instances where there's this guy, they talk about the cook that you end up killing, who, like, fed their parents to the children and all this freaking crap. I'm supposed to sit here and be like, I'm the bad guy, come on. They could have did so much with this story. It could have been, yeah, it's a cult, but they're just super charismatic people. They're manipulative, and stuff, and they just work their way into politicians and law enforcement, and they say they do that because they're buying up land and stuff, and they're buying people out of their homes or whatever. You could have did it so much differently to where maybe you could be like, I was the bad guy the whole time, you know. It's like these people are straight up torturing people. Like, that's how you get them into the cult, you know, like, whatever, you know. And there's parts in each section where, when you get to a certain amount of resistance points, you have to go through some BS. It's like you're being hunted, you've been marked, or, you know, the bliss with Faith, because she's the one who's real. The bliss is what they call it, drug stuff. So you have to, like, you're forced into doing these things, and it takes you out of, like, the groove you might be in, because you got to go deal with this crap first. You know, which is a little annoying, but I don't know. Like I said, that story could have been so much cooler to where it really made it seem like you were the bad guy. Like, you know, these people are just charismatic and very convincing and everything else, you know. Instead, it's like, oh yeah, John's the sadistic one who's like ripping, he's like putting sin on your chest and like ripping the skin, you know, like. I don't know. I mean, the voice acting's good. It's not like it's badly voiced. It's just some of the dialogue's hokey. Like I said, this is all my opinion, but I mean, the gameplay is still excellent. It's Far Cry. The gameplay there's cool points. Like, the game world is sick. Like, I would have done a walking simulator of this game where I just walk around the awesome environment and find things. There's things to collect, and there's a lot of collectibles actually. There's cheeseburger, bobbleheads, cards, baseball cards, vinyl records, lighters, Vietnam lighters, and comic books. Yeah, you get buddies, like you do certain missions, and then you get people who can help you out. I ended up using Cheeseburger, the bear, and Peaches, the cougar, because they're the most badass. Like, they will take everybody out. The problem is they can't revive you. You know, most of your companions are good, but some of their dialogue's stupid too. You know, you can fly planes and stuff, and you're driving vehicles. I did a lot of running actually in this game. Probably another reason I didn't hear any radio things about the rising tensions or whatever. And I could deal with that ending if it was a little more prominent, like, even if it wasn't jammed down your throat, but it's mentioned, and maybe you could just dismiss it, but whatever. Finding the prepper stashes is really cool. There's a lot of points where you can you get a little note and you got to get into their little bunker things or rain shelters, whatever. And there's a lot of that, and it's cool. It's like Tomb Raider Tombs, but like a lighter version of that. And that was fun. That was really fun to do. And you can hunt stuff, and that's all right. You can get perk points, which there's always plenty of them. I got a ton of them. You get 3 most of the time from the bunkers or the prepper stashes, and you'll find them throughout the environment by doing challenges. You'll get them as well. You get the swirl suit, which is cool. You fly around. There's a ton of cool stuff in the game for sure. Just like the story could have been just so much more well done to where you really feel like the bad guy, and not like, well, these people are, if I ignore them, they're just going to torture and go about their business, and, you know, the collapse will happen. But, you know, they got their kicks. I don't know why they're doing it, you know. But still, you know, it's cool. The gameplay's fun. It's Far Cry, you know. You know, going into liberating outposts like you do in these games, you know, and you get in there and you do it stealthily. It's fun, you know. It is cool. The problem with Faith region is too is that there's the bliss flowers or whatever everywhere, and you run through them, you start to like get all weird. It like looks all weird and stuff, which sometimes can be annoying. Overall, solid. I mean, I still have not played Far Cry 4, but I played 2, 3, this one, and I played a good amount of Primal. I need to get that again, reacquire that game, because that was actually a cool game. I mean, this one would be my 4th favorite out of the 4 of them. 2 is my favorite, and still is this day. I love Far Cry 2 so much. the stuff that game did was really ahead of its time in some ways. I mean, there was annoyances in that too, like people respawn at outposts. But play the later games, like in Far Cry 5 and this one, I was getting harassed constantly by people. There's like patrols of Eden's Gate. That's what it is. Eden's Gate's people. There's you can save people and stuff, so they're driving trucks around and stuff. They're always there, which whatever is fine. But it's like, don't make fun of one game for having it, and then this other game, it's like, oh, it's sometimes you just do want to explore. But the game does a lot of cool stuff. Just for me, the story was just didn't do it for me. Could have been a lot better, but alright, that's 10 minutes of babbling about Far Cry 5. So if you're not into video games or you don't care about Far Cry, hopefully the gum chewing's enough. Going to Niagara Falls on Wednesday. Another trip. Thankfully, I worked some days. I think I mentioned with my friend. There's print shop, so I was able to save up some money for that. Hopefully, I come back with some, to be honest with you. Now, the garage sales have been crap the last 2 weekends. There hasn't been many of them, and I haven't been able to find anything. I really got to educate myself on a ton of other things so I can find other things at garage sales when the stuff I'm looking for is not there. But what else? Been watching the usual ghost movies on. Sorry, I was looking at TV. Ghost movies on Amazon. I watched this one, Spirit in the Woods, which was decent. I started watching another one called Scalar. Watched that movie Unsane the other night. That was actually pretty good. Nothing really in the theater that I want to see at the moment. I'm very picky with movies. Like, my girlfriend wants to see certain movies, and part of me is like, God, I don't want to see that. Even movies I want to see, sometimes I want to end up seeing. I'm just very picky about the movies I actually see in the theater. So, I think this Canada trip should be fun. You know, do Made in the Mist. They have that whole street up there. I've been there. I was there twice when I was younger. I went to Toronto one time too. Just in a sweat here. Probably go to Fort Niagara. There's that, you know, that street that has like Ripley's Believe It or Not and Wax Museum type stuff on it. My girlfriend's gonna do the speedboat, like spins around and stuff. I'm like, I'd like to do it with you, but if it spins the way it does from the video, I feel like my stomach's not gonna be able to handle it. I don't need to be thrown up on a boat full of people. I can do like some, you know, roller coaster type stuff, and if it was a speedboat just going fast, then maybe a cut here and there. But if it's doing like crazy spins, there's no way. It happened to me on the broomstick ride or whatever it's called, and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios. It was got on that one, and I'm asking her, I'm like, it doesn't like do anything crazy, right? She's like, no. We get on and it's decent. You know, you're on this thing. It's got this giant arm and it's holding this thing. So you're on a broomstick or whatever. And there's stuff playing on screen, but then there's this part where the thing like lifts like this high, like it tilts you almost completely over. And I was like, oh my God, my stomach was like, and I thought I was going to puke on the thing. I had closed my eyes. I'm like, I can't look at anything right now. I have to focus. I was like, this is the first ride we got on, too. We're probably in the place for like 15 minutes at that point. I'm like, I don't need to be puking immediately. Thankfully, I didn't. Then we got on a little baby coaster. I didn't do the Dueling Dragon one. There's like a baby coaster I had. And the other Harry Potter, the Escape Gringotts was fine. I did that one. That one didn't do anything crazy. And certain roller coasters I can do, but if they're going in loops and stuff, I can't do it. Problem is Jurassic Park was closed when we went there, which sucked. We're going to Penhurst Asylum in October. There's a haunted house there, so that should be fun. And Valley Forge is right over there, so we'll probably do some stuff there as well. Some history stuff. But we'll see. But yeah, this thing keeps turning. Far Cry 5, cool game with a story that I did not like at all. Like Far Cry 2 had a cool story. Like it painted you as the bad guy at the end because you're searching for the Jackal, who's like the arms dealer for this warring faction in Africa, a fictional African country. And like everybody's fucked up in that, and eventually the Jackal pops up here and there, and pretty much tells you at the end like you're part of the problem, and then you end up like killing yourself or whatever. Or there's like two different ways you can go. He's like, or either you go this way and you kill yourself after so and so happens, or you go the other way and you like do this destructive thing. So that because people from like the towns, I guess, are trying to escape, so you want to like block off the armies or whatever who are trying to come after them, and you'd either be crushed by the rocks or you kill yourself. Which I guess he'd have to convince you to do that, but. I really like that game a lot. I play that game again right now. I played through it twice. Once on a PS3 and once on a 360. I would play through it again. I don't know if it's backwards compatible. I'd have to look. And 3 was cool too, but 2 didn't have really any over-the-top villains. They started to get into that over-the-top villain thing with like Voss in 3. And I hear the guy in 4 is, and in 5 they're all... I mean, John's over the top, but I guess they're not too crazy, but Voss was really good, but then you kill him off like halfway through the game, and then there's like another bad guy. Primal is just exactly what it is. It's primal because it takes place like whenever, like in caveman times. You're getting pissed on by guys and shit. It's ridiculous. Fun game though. I'd have to go back to that. But I mean, similar structure to the Far Cry's. You gotta grab areas and stuff, do things. But you get companions like saber-tooth tigers and stuff in that one. Yeah, almost September 5th. Well, September 4th will be the last day of my second year on YouTube. I started September 5th, 2016. Good second year. I gained more subs. I put up a lot more videos, although August I didn't put up a ton, but I'm gonna get this one up and maybe another one up before leaving, and then hammer out some more when I get back. It's been a good time. I still enjoy making the videos. I like the back and forth with people. I like doing the requests. I know I haven't been doing it as much, but I still like doing them. And it's fun, it's still therapeutic to make them, and I still do like watching them, although I haven't watched many of them lately. I'm watching a lot of the ones I liked. I watch them repeatedly. But, yeah, I guess this is more of a rant on Far Cry 5, but I got some rambling in there as well. I guess that's rambling about it as well, but let's turn this one off. Excuse me now, I guess. But, thanks everybody for checking this out, and have a good day.